Chapter 1. The night sky tore open like shattered glass. A fiery glow streaked across the clouds, painting the darkness in gold and fire. The thunder that followed made the forests and mountains tremble, sending a shockwave that shook the earth as if a god had thrown a fist from the heavens. In the center of the smoking crater, among charred trees and shattered rocks, a man slowly rose. His black hair, wild and unkempt, seemed to defy the wind. He wore an orange gi, scorched along the edges, yet his body showed not the slightest sign of wear. His dark eyes gleamed with curiosity, not fear. "Where am I?" murmured Son Goku, scratching his head with an almost childlike gesture, as if he had just woken from a nap. The aura of his ki pulsed on its own, radiating in invisible waves that made the earth tremble. In this new world, that energy was no neutral force, it was a cry that disrupted everything supernatural, drawing the strange toward him like a magnet. The silence of the forest broke. From the shadows, a shiver ran through the air, sharp, glowing eyes watching. A guttural whisper slithered through the trees, like nails scraping old wood. And then, she appeared. A young woman with a fierce gaze burst through broken branches, breathing heavily, a cell phone dangling from her hand. Her uniform was torn, sweat beading her forehead, but her expression radiated sheer determination. Goku tilted his head, curious, then smiled as if he had found unexpected company. Hi, do you know where I am?" The girl stared at him in disbelief, barely raising her makeshift sword, when a creature emerged behind her. A deformed yokai, with twisted claws and a mouth stretching beyond the human. The monster roared, but before it could strike her, Goku moved. A flash, his fist hit the creature with the force of thunder. The yokai was flung into the trees, leaving a trail of black smoke before vanishing. The young woman stared at him wide-eyed. "Who the hell are you?" Goku smiled, carefree, as if he had just waved at a new neighbor. I'm Goku. And you?" The forest shivered again. More strange presences stirred from the ground, drawn to the overflowing ki of the Saiyan. Saeko's fists tightened on her sword. For a brief moment, the young woman's usual composure faltered. I'm Saeko, and if you don't want to die, you better fight seriously." Goku laughed softly, excitement dancing in his eyes. "Perfect. I love fighting." And so, among the fog and the roars of impossible creatures, the first alliance was formed, a Saiyan lost in a chaotic world, and a girl whose will burn like steel. Destiny had just brought them together, and neither the sky nor the underworld would ever be the same. Chapter 2. The entire night seemed to have become a battlefield. Grotesque creatures slithered between the trees, some floating with translucent bodies, others advancing with heavy steps, leaving ash-colored footprints in the earth. The yokai had responded to the unconscious call of Goku's ki to them. That energy was like a beacon, pulling them out of hiding. Saeko swung her sword with precision, cutting through specters that dissolved into dark smoke. Each strike was clean, firm, without a hint of hesitation. Goku, meanwhile, fought with a wide grin, dodging with cat-like agility, and knocking down monsters with a single punch. "You're strong," he shouted, sending a three-mouthed creature flying with a fist. "It's not about being strong," Saeko replied, panting, "it's about surviving." The difference between them was clear. For Goku, combat was excitement, adrenaline. For her, it was necessity. Yet, fighting side by side, their powers complemented each other perfectly. The air suddenly buzzed with a strange hum. The darkness tore open, and a distinct figure emerged. It was no ordinary yokai, humanoid in shape, but with eyes glowing metallically. Saeko took a step back. "These aren't spirits," she murmured. "They're something else." Goku tilted his head, fascinated. "Oh, their ki feels different. Definitely strong." The being raised its hand, forming a green sphere of energy in midair. Saeko's eyes widened in alarm. "Watch out!" Goku merely laughed, raising his palm. The sphere collided with him, and dissipated like smoke in a strong wind. He hadn't moved an inch. Saeko stared at him, speechless. She had seen strange things before, but nothing like this. "What exactly are you?" Goku shrugged. "A fighter," he smiled. "How about we finish this together?" Saeko hesitated, then realized the truth in his words. Despite being from another world, he could be a partner in this battle. They lunged at the creature together. Saeko attacked from below with swift, precise cuts, while Goku distracted the enemy with movements so fast they seemed impossible. Each time the creature tried to strike him, he vanished and reappeared elsewhere, laughing as if it were a game. Finally, Goku rose into the air and delivered a punch that shook the ground. The metallic figure shattered into glittering fragments, dissolving into dust. Silence returned, broken only by their heavy breaths. Saeko lowered her sword, sweat trickling down her neck. I've never seen anyone fight like that." Goku looked at her with simple sincerity. and you're no slouch either. You fight with your heart. For a brief moment, Saeko looked away, uncomfortable with the warmth in his words. She wasn't used to anyone seeing more than her strength or detonation. A distant roar echoed from the mountains, interrupting the moment. Saeko clenched her teeth. This is just the beginning. If your presence attracts more of those things, chaos will multiply quickly. Goku gazed toward the horizon, excitement in place of fear. Then let's keep fighting together. I bet we'll have a lot of fun. Saeko watched him, torn between calling him crazy and letting herself be swept up by his enthusiasm. In the end, all she could whisper was, "You're impossible." And yet, for the first time in a long while, she didn't feel alone in the storm. Chapter 3. Dawn arrived tinted with a strange red, as if the sky itself had absorbed the violence of the night. The birds did not sing. Instead, a thick silence blanketed the forest. Saeko led the way, her sword sheathed at her side, her steps steady on the damp earth. Goku followed closely, his eyes darting from tree to tree, curious about every detail, the texture of the bark, the smell of wet grass, even the strange footprints left in the mud, proof that the yokai had not disappeared completely. "Is it always this weird around here?" he asked, smiling mischievously. Saeko exhaled. This is just the beginning. The presence of creatures like last night means things are mixing. Yokai, spirits, and something else. Aliens, Goku ventured, as if it were completely normal. Saeko stopped in her tracks and turned to look at him. "Aliens? Where did you get that from?" He scratched the back of his head. Well, I'm from another planet myself. I wouldn't be surprised." Seiko's face hardened. She wasn't sure if he was joking or serious. Yet, remembering what she had witnessed the night before, she realized it could be true. "You mean, you're really not human?" Goku nodded with an easy smile. I'm a Saiyan. I ended up in this world by accident, I think." For a moment, Saeko didn't know what to say. She had faced vengeful ghosts, entities that fed on fear, phenomena that defied logic, but never someone claiming to be from another planet. And yet, recalling the raw power she felt the night before, she understood it was possible. "That explains your energy," she murmured, more to herself than to him. Goku tilted his head. "My energy, yes, the key you radiate. It's unlike anything I've felt before. Too alive, too bright." Her eyes narrowed, not with hostility, but with a mix of curiosity and caution. "That glow is what attracts the yokai." Goku grinned as if hearing that was a compliment. Awesome. So as long as they're around, we get to fight. Sounds fun to me." Saeko shook her head, exasperated. You don't understand. This isn't a game. If the balance of this world breaks, the consequences will be catastrophic. Then we protect it together?" he replied, still brimming with excitement. The question hit her harder than she expected. She had always carried the responsibility alone, never expecting help. But now, this carefree stranger's absolute confidence made her, for a brief moment, want to believe him. Before she could respond, the ground shook. Both tensed. From the depths of the forest, a massive figure emerged, a yokai, with the body of a centipede, dozens of legs pounding the earth as its yellow eyes glowed with hunger. Goku leapt forward, thrilled. "I'll handle this one." But Saeko grabbed his arm. Their brief contact sparked an electric sensation, and for a moment, they locked eyes. "We do this together." Goku nodded with a grin, and without another word, they launched themselves into the storm.